What's up guys, it's Aaron from Rudy Visuals, and in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at this very cool gadget. It is the Portkeys LEYE EVF. So see you after that intro. So first up, just in case anyone is wondering what is an EVF, an EVF is basically an electronic viewfinder, or also known as an OVF, an optical viewfinder, which is, the thing that you look at to see what you're shooting and what you're filming. Usually mirrorless cameras like the A7 III, they have an electronic viewfinder, and a DSLR camera will have an optical viewfinder. Now, the vast majority of cameras do come with their own viewfinders, but actually on higher end cinema cameras, you do actually have to buy them separate as like a separate attachment. And people actually do buy them for, enthusiast level cameras as an upgrade over your current viewfinder, as you may find that the inbuilt viewfinder isn't good enough, or it might be a case of just not being able to access it. Like for example, if you have your camera set up on something like this or on a gimbal, you just can't actually look through your viewfinder. Now the reason why is because the viewfinder is preferable in some cases rather than the actual screen, because you can see it far more clearly on a sunny day, and it's a lot more accurate when you're trying to, for example, you're focusing, or you're trying to check your exposure, your colors and stuff like that, get your framing perfect. So for serious filmmakers and videographers, it's actually a very essential tool. So using an external EVF like this, it basically fixes that entire issue. Now, when you start getting into higher end gear, like cinema cameras, accessories, attachments, etc., unfortunately, price does become quite a big barrier for entry for most people. Luckily, the Portkeys LEYE is actually designed to work with most mirrorless and cinema cameras, which makes it a really good choice for kind of like people just getting really serious about filmmaking and beginning to invest in more gear. So as such, a big selling point of the Portkeys LEYE is the price point. So you can purchase it for around £350 in the UK, with about $399 US, which makes it a really affordable option, like I said, for amateur and enthusiast filmmakers, especially when you compare it to the rest of the market. Like a typical price for a higher end viewfinder, you're looking at like $1,500 to $2,000 US. And now obviously I've already opened this up and got it all set up on my A7 III here, but included in the box is pretty much everything you need to attach this onto your kind of like cage setup, like for example, these rails and mounts. You also get this really handy L-shaped HDMI, which makes it a little bit easier to plug things in. There's also a USB disc for firmware updates, and you also get a power cord as well. So I'll just take this off the cage for now, just so we can kind of have a closer look at it. So in terms of like the build quality, the LEYE feels very nice in the hand. It's compact and very lightweight. I think it's about 232 grams. Now most of the body is made of plastic, but the rear cover is metal, so for a little bit of extra protection. It doesn't feel like super luxurious or anything like that, but it doesn't feel cheap either. The EVF features an adjustable diopter, so you can adjust this according to your eyesight. And instead of a traditional eye cup, the LEYE features this kind of like a sponge eye mask, which is basically a piece of foam velcroed to the front to prevent like light from entering when you're using the EVF. Now I would have preferred the foam to be like a little bit of a higher quality, and this feels slightly flimsy, but it's fairly comfortable actually, and it works fine, and you get two of these as well. There's also some mounting holes on the bottom, which gives you some further mounting options as well. It's very straightforward to use, and design wise the focus here is just functionality. There's just a power switch on the front, some navigation buttons and some function buttons on the top. And for I/O, literally just a HDMI. So there's no SDI, just HDMI. You've got a DC power and also a USB. Now, what's awesome about this EVF is that even though it's a budget option, it actually features a number of high-end professional features that a lot of the more expensive options have. So for example, the display inside is a 2.4-inch 8-bit 1440 by 900 screen with 300 nits of brightness, and the contrast ratio is 1100 to 1, which for something this size, this small, it's going to be great for seeing your color accuracy, exposure, and for focusing. There's really no comparison between this and the actual EVF on the A7 III, the built-in one, as well as the screen as well. So like I said, the LEYE comes jam-packed with pro-level tools to help you accurately monitor your footage. For example, there's 3D LUT monitoring, there's waveforms, lumas, histograms, false colors, zebras, focus peaking. I think you get like zooming, there's audio meters, framing guides, aspect ratios, color temperature adjustments, pretty much everything that a filmmaker or videographer might need. Cons wise, the 1440 by 900 resolution, it's not as high as some of the more expensive options. So you're not looking at a 1080p screen, but do bear in mind, your camera, it may be able to capture 1080 or 4K, but the actual screen itself and the viewfinder is probably nowhere near that. So in our case, the A7 III screen, I think it's only 640 by 480, and the EVF is only 1024 by 768. So the actual LI is actually a really big upgrade over what we have here. Also, considering how affordable this is, again, like I said, compared to some of the other EVFs on the market, I think it's a fairly minor criticism. The actual quality of the screen is excellent. Unfortunately, I can't really show you, but I found the details, the sharpness, color, brightness, all that is very impressive for this price point, and a big upgrade over the inbuilt EVF. Compared to using a monitor as well, of course you get reflections on the monitor, you get light, sun. Sometimes it's not easy to exactly see what you're trying to shoot, in terms of focusing, in terms of framing, all that kind of important stuff. So actually being able to see it through the viewfinder, it really does make a really big difference. Now, something to bear in mind is you don't actually get any kind of battery or power included. You just get this power DC to D-tap cable. Again, most videographers already have a power solution. We do have a D-tap power supply lying around somewhere, but in this case, I just literally hooked it up to this USB power bank and attached it to the bottom of our setup here, literally using some double-sided tape, but it works fine. So considering all of these things and keeping in mind that price point as well, I think that the LI is a really, really, really good option for an enthusiast or an amateur filmmaker looking for their first EVF that won't break the bank. So maybe you're just stepping in or getting into more serious video shooting, or you own something like an A7 III, ASR, a Blackmagic pocket camera. This would be a really great addition to your filmmaking arsenal when you're looking to take that step up. So if you're interested in picking up one of these for yourself, there will be links in the description below. So that's pretty much it for this quick review. If you have any questions about the EVF, then leave a comment below. Don't forget to also follow us down here, all this good stuff here, Instagram and Facebook, and leave that video a like if you liked it, and hit that subscribe if you want to see more. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go and play with this some more, because it just makes me feel like I'm a Terminator or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.